with
Why don't you go to it, sir?
I just asked you that, sir.
I think he's
Shots fired.
Right, but he did not see.
I would agree with that.
Would you agree with me that it was a miracle that no police officers were shot?
I would agree with that.
Especially someone like Paul Box. He's right here, and you have these officers shooting this way.
That's correct.
Now, Officer Brelo did not see what happened with Officer Diaz, did he not? He didn't see that.
Correct. He heard the report of shots fired.
Right, but he did not see what happened with Officer Diaz. He did not see the interaction back here on the island.
That's correct.
He did not see what happened to Officer Sistick.
Correct.
You put both of these facts in to bolster your opinion about Officer Brelo's reasonableness, did you not?
I did, because Officer Brelo reports that he heard shots fired and he heard the report of shots being fired.
Sir, if you're not understanding my question, I'll make it more clear. He did not see what happened between him and Officer Diaz.
I will give you that.
According to you, that the car went at Officer Diaz. He did not see that.
He did not. I'm sorry, sir, I interrupted you. Go ahead.
He did not see that.
He did not see that.
And he did not see Officer Sistick getting out of the car and scrambling behind his car. He did not see that either.
Correct.
But you put both of those facts in your report to bolster the reasonableness of Officer Brelo's perceptions, did you not?
Why don't you go to it, sir?
I just asked you that, sir.
I think he's saying, what page are you referring to?
I'd have to find it.
And if he's not saying that, I am.
Okay. Give me a second.
Sure.
Give me a second. I know it's in here. I gotta find it. You go off the record for a second,
I
Chair?
would say page 21, numbered paragraph 7. Possibly.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor. You see your report there, sir?
I do. I'm going to where the judge is directed.
All right.
But I may be wrong. I think that's what you're
Yes.
driving at.
Exactly what I was talking about, Judge. Thank you.
So now you've directed him to the section you want, and the question is, would
Did you not put those facts in there to bolster your opinion that Officer Brelo was acting reasonable? That was part of all this information that he was getting for him to react like he did?
Well, first of all, they are facts. The important fact is that Officer Seifer immediately broadcast shots fired to all officers at the scene.
Sir, you're not answering my
Wait a
question.
minute.
You're not answering my question.
Hold on. What is the exact question?
I asked him the exact question. Did you not put those two facts in your paragraphs on that page 21 to bolster the fact that Officer Brelo's perception was reasonable? that he knew what happened with Diaz, and he saw a sister. Did you not put that in your report like that?
No, sir, that's not the way I
Okay.
believe it's indicated in the report.
Okay.
If I can quote from my report.
I'm not asking you that, sir. I'm asking you whether you did that or not, and you answered the question.
Well, wait a second,
Well,
Counselor.
hold on,
No.
because remember, the premise of this question was, did you put something in your report to quote-unquote bolster your opinion? You have said that you didn't, and I think you're also meaning to say that you didn't put in his report, what he's saying you did, but that can come up on redirect.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Sir, you also indicated, I believe, in one part of your opinion, that you train regarding alcohol, with people with alcohol and mental issues.
Yes, sir, I do.
And that's kind of important when police officers are dealing with individuals?
People that are presenting with mental health disorders, people that might be under the influence of alcohol or drugs, yes, it can be important during an encounter between a police officer and a citizen.
Okay, all right. And could it reasonably be inferred that the actions of the passenger indicated some mental health issues? How she was jumping around in the car and everything?
It's not what the officers report.
Okay. All right. Now, going back to Officer Brelo's statement, when this car hit this car, he said he saw both passenger and driver raise dark objects, correct?
Yes.
Did not say gun. He did not say gun,
Oh,
correct?
thank you. No, he did not say that.
He said dark objects.
Correct.
Okay. All right. And Officer Salupo, in the investigation, indicated that as the Malibu went down, it accelerated. You remember that?
I do.
So we have the car accelerating down here, right?
Yes.
And we have Officer Brelo and Officer Moore. Well, I think Officer Moore even says she saw guns. Correct?
She did.
But Officer Brelo just said dark objects.
He did.
Right? So we have the car accelerating down this road, smashing into this 238 on the side of 238, right?
Yes.
And the individuals at least raising their hands whether they had a gun or not. Correct?
Yes.
But Mr. Martini and Dr. Posey said Diaz shots killed him here, correct?
Well, first of
Didn't
all,
your other experts say that that Diaz's shot is what killed him?
I'm not sure that that's what they stated.
But you could agree with me.
I don't think that's what they stated at all.
Okay, then I'm somehow. No, I think they did.
Saying that they killed him back there.
That he got shot here, with this intersection here, the close proximity where Diaz was to the car through the open window. Mr. Martini just testified to that.
Sir, now I apologize, but I think you're changing your statement. First of all, you said he was dead right there. Now you're changing it and saying he was shot right there. I don't disagree.
He was shot.
Okay, so just so that I'm clear, so I can respond to you.
Okay.
Right? You said dead back there.
Well, I meant shot, sir.
All right.
I misspoke.
Because you're changing on me now. I just want to make sure I get what you're saying.
Good. Good. So you would agree with me if, in fact, he was shot here, okay? That he's going to be able to drive that car down there. That's possible, right?
Absolutely. A shot like that can cause what we refer to as exsanguination, which means that he could be bleeding out. Not even, to me, I'm not even sure that's a fatal round at that point. A person that's bleeding out can take 3 to 4 minutes to bleed out. And this situation happened in 45 seconds.
Sure.
So, sir, on page 23 of your report, you opine that Officer Moore had tunnel vision.
Correct.
Okay? Did you ever talk to Officer Moore?
I did not.
So your opinion about her psychological state is derived simply from reviewing her statement.
That is correct.
Okay. Now, let's talk about Officer Brelo for a second. Okay? All right. He's here. In his car. Ambush training. Fires, right?
Yes.
Goes out over here. All right? Runs across and shoots. Correct?
Yes.
And in his statement he says, I know there are people over here shooting.
Correct.
He knows something's going on his right side, but it doesn't really know.
He'll be on his left side, sir.
Could you put up those pictures there? Okay. So he is able to understand what's going on here and somewhat what's going on to his right in his statement.
How so to his right?
He says there's something going on in there. He knows something's there, but he can't tell what it is.
Well, I just want to make sure that we're talking about the correct right and left, because to me, Officer Brelo indicated to his left that there were officers shooting on the knoll. He didn't want to get caught in a crossfire.
You didn't say on the knoll, sir.
Well, you said to his left. He didn't say it to his right.
Well, sir, I'll get Officer Brelo's statement out. He says to his right, he doesn't know what's going on, but he knows to his left there's people that are shooting.
I don't think I disagreed with you there.
Okay. He says he doesn't want to get pinned underneath the car.
He says that he is worried about the suspect vehicle striking the 238 and or striking
Sir,
him.
he said pinned. I will get the transcript for you if you want. Did he not say pinned or not?
Sir, I'm sorry. I'm having a hard time conversing with you because you're interrupting me. If you allow me to finish my answer to your question, I can do that for you.
Did Officer Brelo say pinned or not?
He did, sir. I need to give you the context of the statement.
Okay. I'm not asking you the context of the statement. I'm asking you, did he say he was pinned?
He said that he was worried about being pinned underneath the suspect vehicle.
That's correct. Now, pinned, correct me if I'm wrong, means he's going to get run over like that. Would that be your interpretation of being pinned?
You have him underneath the patrol car.
Yeah, he was worried about getting pinned by this car, was he not?
I think he was worried about getting struck and pinned by either car.
That's what you think from his statement?
I believe so.
Okay. But pinned means pinned. Do you want me to get the dictionary to get it out what that means?
Sir, please don't be condescending with me. I'll answer your questions. Go ahead.
Sir, you don't need to get condescending with me and say stuff like that. You want to answer my questions, answer my questions. Objection. We know that you testified. When's the last time you testified, by the way?
Hold on. The objection is over with.
When's the last time you testified?
Last Thursday.
Okay, and before that?
Can't remember.
You make a living testifying, don't you?
I do, in part.
Thank you.
In part.
So, sir, he's worried about getting pinned. You look at this picture? See the picture of the crime scene?
Sure.
118?
192.
192. Could you get the next one? Not that one. Okay. You see the cars there?
I do.
See how they're bashed in like that? Would you agree or disagree with me, sir? If this car kept going, it would crease this car and keep on going. Yes or no?
Sir, that's your perception in
I am
court.
asking you a yes or no answer, sir. If you disagree with me, say I disagree.
Go ahead and ask me the question again, please.
Would you agree or disagree that when the car struck this car, and you see how this is wedged in here, that if this car kept on going, it would go like that. It would crease the rest of this car and keep on going.
According to your hypothetical, yes.
Okay? All right? So Officer Brelo, thinking he was going to get pinned, is not really correct. He wasn't going to get pinned by any car.
Overruled. You may respond.
Yes or no?
According to your hypothetical, which has nothing to do with what Officer Brelo was feeling at the time,
Okay.
yes.
Did he say he thought he was going to get pinned?
He did say he thought he was going to get
And
pinned.
then that was one of the reasons why he wanted to elevate his position up on this car.
Correct, one of the reasons.
The other reason was that he didn't want to be in the crossfire from the people on this side.
Well, there was one more reason.
Okay? And what was that?
He wanted to go to a place of tactical advantage by taking an elevated position.
Okay. So, you agree with him on that one?
I'm not Officer Brelo.
Do you agree with Officer Brelo's tactical decision to move from here to here?
If he believed that he could get tactical superiority by getting an elevated position and shooting down into a vehicle to stop a threat, I don't disagree with it.
So your answer is yes.
Yes.
See? Okay. So, let me ask you this. His reasons that he, besides the tactical, he didn't want to get pinned, and he didn't want crossfire, did he not, sir, put himself exactly where he didn't want to be? Meaning up here, he's going to get shot with crossfire more here, and if this car is going to jam him, he's going to be knocked off. Right?
He's going to get knocked off. He's not going to get pinned.
That's right. That's right. Exactly. So he put himself, sir, in a position of more danger by going from here to here. Did he not?
No, I disagree with you. I think falling off of
Well, hold on.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I disagree with you, and you'll get a chance to explain why, but that does answer the question at hand. So, Mr. Gutierrez, he said he disagrees, and now you could ask the next question.
Thank you, Your Honor. Appreciate it.
Is he not going to get shot when he's standing up on the trunk from these people? Is he not more in a target here than he is behind the trunk?
Not necessarily, because we can't ascertain exactly where those officers were when they were shooting. The officer...
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. I thought you were done.
Officer Brelo is working on perceptions with a problem with situational awareness. And the officer has stated that he was concerned to his left about getting shot, so he didn't want to go to his left. He did not want to get pinned underneath the car, either the suspect vehicle or the 238 unit. And so he took a position of tactical advantage. Following your hypothetical, if the suspect vehicle would have continued to strike the 238 vehicle, it would not have pinned Officer Brelo, and Officer Brelo falling off and landing on the ground, more likely than not, would not have been shot by the officers to his left.
Sir, so you want this court to believe that going from a position of enhanced safety, which you said, here, where not going to get crossfire from these people here, because he's here. But you want this court, you're going to tell this court right now, getting up here was more safe than staying there.
Well, at the time, here's what I'm going to tell the court.
Yes or no?
No, it doesn't go yes or no.
Yes, it does.
Well, no, it doesn't. That's a trope. You didn't ask him a question that can be answered with the word yes or the word no. You asked him, what are you telling this court?
Okay, then I'll rephrase my question, Your Honor.
Well, except you asked him a question. You basically said, what are you telling this court? And
Okay.
he started out by saying, here's what I'm going to tell the court.
I'm going to tell the court, and I'm going to tell you, that this man had 17 and a half seconds to make every single movement that took place when the shots were fired. He had milliseconds to make a decision based on his perceptions at the time. The situation was rapidly evolving, and it was absolutely tense and uncertain. and he saw an occasion where he felt he was initially in a place of enhanced safety, and all of a sudden it didn't become enhanced to him because we had officers, not in Officer Brelo's control, that were shooting from the grassy area, and we also had a suspect vehicle that he had to be concerned with. He made a tactical decision in a millisecond, and that's my response to you.
You didn't answer my question.
Well, you asked me to explain it to the court. I just did.
It's over.
Here's the question. Yes or no? Was he safer here or on top of the hood, on top of the trunk?
Are you talking about what Officer Brelo felt?
I'm asking you from a tactical decision. Is it safer here or here? Behind the trunk or on top of the trunk? What is a safer position?
I would have moved to the the left rear of the patrol car.
Right. You'd go from here to over there. Correct?
Slightly more to the rear of the patrol car.
So, he's up here. Yes or no? He's more likely to get shot on top of the trunk than he is on crouching behind the trunk.
I won't disagree with that.
And going from the trunk to the hood, does he not put himself in a position where other police officers, they're in his line of fire? Are they not?
They are.
And when you train police officers, you tell them, don't put yourself in danger? Isn't that correct?
Well, I train them actually to try to avoid placing yourself in extreme danger.
And sir, and I understand as a police officer, there are points in time where things evolve. But in this situation, Officer Brelo put himself in enhanced danger by going from here to here by getting shot by any of these other officers during this period of time. Would you agree with me, yes or no?
I can't disagree with you.
Sir, you don't teach people to jump on hoods and shoot into windshields, do you?
No.
In fact, is there any police tactic that you know that somebody's standing on top of a hood shooting?
No.
So we can agree that there was crossfire. Even Mr. Martini acknowledged that.
Yes.
And you read Mr. Martini's report, right?
I did.
Sir, on page 24, if you can go to that page, middle of the page. We're talking about right under the second magazine, you see that?
Yes.
See let's see, 1, 2, 3. Based upon Officer Brelo's collected knowledge, his law enforcement education, training experience, coupled with his prior military experience of responding to deadly force threat, it was objectively reasonable for him to have fired upon Russell and Williams while moving to cover. Those are your words, right?
Yes.
Would you agree, yes or no, I'll let you know ahead of time, that him moving up, elevated position, and pushing through to the target is a military move?
No. Going to an elevated position.
And pushing through the target. Isn't that what they teach you in the military?
Well, it depends on the circumstances.
So, sir, was that a military move? Yes or no, that he did?
The only thing that I can tell you is that Officer Brelo states that he used his collective knowledge and his recollection of police and military tactics to assume a position that was elevated. It is just as much a law enforcement tactic as it is a military tactic. Officer Brelo has experience in both communities.
Sir, aren't there a number right now of prior military individuals from the wars in policing right now?
Yes.
You've experienced that, correct?
Yes.
And isn't it a fact that you have to train them to go from a military mindset to a civilian mindset?
It depends on what we're training them to do.
Sir, are you gonna argue with me that there's a difference between military training and civilian training for police officers?
I'm not disagreeing with you, sir.
Okay, so are you going to say yes or no? Was this a military move that Brelo did when he went from elevate and push through to the target?
No, sir. My comment to you.
You answered me no. You said no. I just want to know if you thought that was a military move or not. But you did say coupled with his prior military experience, did you not?
Well, we can't forget our experiences.
Sir, I just asked you if you said that.
I did say that. He does have military experience.
That's all I asked. Nothing more.
Let me interrupt you at this point, Mr. Gutierrez. Are you about on to another subject?
Yes.
All right, why don't we take a break then? So, sir, you remain under oath obligated to return to the stand at 1:15 tomorrow. You're certainly excused until then. Appreciate you.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
We'll go off the record. I have 16 or so hearings in the morning. My intention is to be on the record at 1:15, but I think one of these two has to be here in the morning, and I have to give them some meaningful break. So if you kindly be ready at 1:15, don't be surprised, though, if we start more like 15 or 30 minutes later. If so, that's going to be the reason for it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So thank you. See you then. Good night. Appreciate you staying late.